innovation. Candied Yams.
Hello, this is Erica of Smothers Fixings, and today I will be making candied yams. You will need ginger, vanilla, ground cinnamon, brown sugar, white sugar, 4 large sweet potatoes, aluminum pan with a top or aluminum foil, and a stick of butter. I'm going to first start by peeling our sweet potatoes. You just cut off this little end piece. And then you start slicing as close to the outer peel as possible to try to retain as much sweet potato as possible. We're going to cut our potato into chunks. So you're going to cut it according to how thick you want it. So we're going to go ahead and just press down like that on the cutting board. And you can take it and cut it in half once. And then cut it in half again. So you're creating quarters. So this is one slice, cut up into quarters. After cutting up 4 large sweet potatoes, notice that they all fit inside of a standard baking pan. All right, next you're going to rinse your potatoes off. Okay, make sure you rinse them off well. Before baking your sweet potatoes, you're going to sprinkle a hint of ground cinnamon all over the sweet potatoes. Stir it up well. And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of water in each one of the corners of the pan. Cover it up with aluminum foil and bake in the oven. Mix your sweet potatoes up so that they're all covered in cinnamon. Add your 1 tablespoon of water in each one of the corners of the pan. And that's going to allow it to steam and cook. And we will be retaining most all of the nutrients versus boiling your potatoes on the stove first. Place an aluminum lid over your sweet potatoes or a sheet of heavy-duty aluminum foil. Make sure you wrap it so that none of the steam escapes from the pan. So make sure you go around all the edges and you kind of like squeeze it up to make sure all of the steam is trapped inside of the pan. After 1 hour and 20 minutes, this is what your sweet potatoes will look like. If you take a fork and you were to take it and break it, you're going to see that it still remains whole, but yet it is soft. At this point, you're going to taste the sweet potato and see how sweet it is. You're going to take your butter and place it into a large saucepan. You're going to take your stick of butter, place it into a large saucepan. Then you're going to take the juices from the sweet potatoes and you're going to pour it in over the butter. Okay, these juices came because we added water to the pan before we cooked the sweet potatoes. Next, you're going to add your vanilla. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons. We're going to add a hint of ginger. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And if you really like cinnamon, add a little extra. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a total of 2/3 of brown sugar. So 2 of these. My sweet potatoes are really sweet. So instead of 1 cup of sugar, I'm only going to add 2/3 cups of sugar. Make sure you taste your sweet potatoes so you know exactly how much sugar you want to add to determine the sweetness. Next, we're going to turn the stove on medium-high. And then we're going to begin to stir the mixture until it is nice and thick and we can start to see the sugar start to caramelize. Once all the butter, the sugars, the cinnamon, ginger, once all of that is all mixed together, we want to bring this to a boil. Once your candied yam syrup comes to a boil, make sure you continually stir it for at least 1 minute. As you see, the syrup starts to rise. It will rise, so make sure you continually stir it or it's going to spill over the pot. After a couple of minutes, turn off the stove. And then you're going to take your syrup and you're going to pour it over your sweet potatoes. All right, after 15-20 minutes, you're going to remove the foil from your candied yams, and then you're going to gently stir them up. Make sure that all of the candied yams have syrup over them. You can just simply shake the pan like that to kind of like balance it out. And then you're going to bake it for another, I say 20 to 30 minutes until this sauce has thickened. See, right now, here's the texture of it. After 30 minutes of cooking, this is what your candied yams are going to look like. Yes, nice and sweet. If you like this video, please like, share, and follow.